Tonight, stacks of boxes in a warehouse in Savannah, Georgia. They say enough packaged food to feed hundreds of thousands of starving children in Gaza or Sudan for 6 weeks.
We've got about 300,000 pallets or cases in the building.
Not yet shipped out after USAID's stop work order 2 weeks ago.
I think right now we have about 300,000 boxes of RUTF. So a box will feed a child. It's 150 sachets, and it'll feed a child for 6 weeks, roughly, through the food aid system. So that's a lot of kids stacked up in that warehouse.
Why is it so important?
Yeah, so children that are in that condition of severely acutely malnourished, they need the vital micronutrients and the calories and the fats and the lipids poured into them. And you could do that with like a traditional infant formula, but you can imagine if you're a mom in Ethiopia or in a place where you don't have access to clean or fresh water or refrigeration, if you were to use some sort of standard formula like that, then it would go bad.
President Trump's order freezing most USAID programs was a shock to people running nonprofits like Mark Moore, to his factory workers, and potentially devastating to the families who depend on their food, says the former head of USAID.
With 1 in 4 kids under 5 in Sudan suffering from severe acute malnutrition, there is American food in warehouses that is just sitting there because of the stop work order and because of the fact that these programs have effectively been halted.
Many American farmers are also crying foul. Peanut farmers in Georgia and soybean and wheat growers in Kansas, because USAID spends $2 billion a year buying their surplus crops to feed the world.
We have farm commodities grown by American farmers that are sitting in American ports right now with flagged vessels, U.S. flagged vessels that are ready to take to the seas, and they can't take that food, and it will just sit in American ports until there is a reckoning with the grave damage that these decisions are causing.
After more than a week of delay, while the administration said it was looking for efficiencies and fraud, the Georgia peanut paste manufacturer got an emergency waiver from the State Department to start shipping his backlog for now.
So shutting it down causes us to just have to, pull the plug and wait until we know that the U.S. government is going to take the product that we're making.
A delay in the supply chain that has real consequences for starving children who need the food right away.
Andrea Mitchell is joining us now here on set. We're so glad you brought that reporting to us, Andrea. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's coming as there's a new Inspector General report now that talks about and really quantifies the impact of what could happen if this continues with USAID.
Yeah, this just came out, and they say that 500,000 metric tons of food is at risk of being spoiled because it's at ports, at sea, or in warehouses like the one in Georgia. Some, like this guy, did get the waiver, but that delay means that this slows down the whole supply chain, and meanwhile, the children really need this stuff. It also removes the oversight because they've furloughed all their workers overseas. And this increases the risk that terror groups like Hamas could grab and steal the stuff.
It's considered likely that USAID, we know, would move under the State Department, essentially. And you and our team have just learned that Elon Musk's Doge now has, an office or a seat at State?
We don't know where they are, but they are embedded. So they're looking at everything, including USAID. And you raise the question of what's going to happen to this agency, because Elon Musk is already on Twitter saying, without any evidence, it's a criminal organization. It should go to the wood chipper. They took the name off of the Reagan building. So what's going to happen to USAID is a big question.
An uncertain future for sure. Andrea Mitchell, our chief foreign correspondent. Thank you. Good to see you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.